Hello everyone, today I will present my research, the global research trend on franchisee in franchising literature review, a bibliometric analysis. So the reasons that I focus on the bibliometric analysis because there are the sustainable growth in disciplines in franchisee research. However, there are no bibliometric analysis of franchisee research has been published up to now, and this report aims to fill the research gap by following research objective. So the research objective one to overview the franchisee research from beginnings of the franchise literature review to date. And the research objective two is that what are the broad patterns in this 5 study. And research objective 3 is that what are the main area of research. And research objective 4 is that how have the scientific priority changed over time in franchisee research. So bibliometric analysis is performed using the variety of data sources, such as Web of Science, Scopus, PubMed, and Google Scholar. So in this study, we use the Scopus database because the Scopus database is a very reliable source. And Scopus as the main source of bibliometric record. The data was downloaded in April 2021. So the search criteria together with polygon expressions are shown in slides. And the list of articles was sorted by years, like oldest to the latest, in which the oldest is 1968 and the latest is 2021. And the result shows that 855 articles meet the requirements. And I also use the VOS viewer for data analysis. So here is a summary of my finding and results. So there was 855 research articles published in 53 years from 1968 to 2021. So the first figure will show the growth of publication trends in franchising research. The first research in franchises was in 1968 with the title The Art of Managing a Franchise. So as you can see in the diagrams, there was a little research on franchisee from 1968 to 1993. And from 1993 onward, number of publications in franchisees has been increasing rapidly. And it's believed that the scholars have paid attention to franchisees, and there have been an exponential growth on interest in this field. And this is significant increase in both citations and number of publications. And from 2020 onward, you see that the number of publications remains constant, and it's remain around 40 to 50 papers per year. As of 2021, there are only 158 research articles that take approximately 18% have the public open access for readers. Only 38 research articles for gold access, and only 121 research articles for green access, and appropriate like 14%. So for the second diagrams, the subject area analyzed and indicate that the concern of management and the main attention in franchisee research. Okay, so there are top 5 franchisee research. Like in the area of business management and accounting, there are around 697 research papers. For the economics, econometrics, and finance, there was 182 articles. And for the social science, there was 149 articles. And minority of research paper focus on engineering area, environmental science, And that result can be seen that franchisee research not only focus on the business management area, but also focus on multidisciplinary area. And on the third diagrams, you can see that the top 10 journals that have the highest citations and have the highest documents on the franchisee performance. And the leading journals are Journal of Marketing Channels and the Journal of Business Venturings. And especially for the Journal of Business Venturings, the citations was highest, like around 2,046 citations for 25 documents. And here is the diagrams for top countries in franchisee research. You can see that US maintain a connection with all other countries on the map. Okay, and there's no doubt that the US have a very long history of franchise. Okay, and the US is one of the most well-developed franchising industry, and therefore it plays an important contribution in franchisee literature. Moreover, other developed countries such as Australia and UK, European countries also have a very long history of franchising with a strong franchise distribution network. And therefore, they attract lots of attention from academic scholars. And other Asian countries such as Hong Kong, China, South Korea, far away from the map, okay? And especially for Southeast Asia, countries that are not contributing much on the franchisee literature. And therefore, more research are required for these Southeast Asia regions. One is the topic foreseen in the franchisee research. So there are 4 general terms that seem to summarize the topical foreseen of interest in the field of franchisee from 1968 to 2021. So for the rest cluster, the core of current work such as the royalty, bridge, relationship, training, small business, and strategy. And for the second topical area, focus on the franchise context, such as the franchise relationships. For the third topics, they focus on the entrepreneurship, including the entrepreneurial orientations, business format franchisings, and corporations. And this is illustrated in the green cluster. And for the final one, the blue cluster, it focuses on the satisfactions of franchisee. And this slides will show you the research trends in the franchisee research. And you can see here, the purple one will begin with the purple color. And they say about retailing, the strategy, and the conflict between the relationship of franchisee and franchisor. And for the yellow color, from 2016 up to date, the topics that have focused most will be the entrepreneur or orientations and the financial performance, as well as the relationship quality. And you can easily see that the entrepreneur orientations topics has been predominant addressing in the franchisee literature in the last decade, and then link with the franchisee performance and the general franchise performance and a franchise relationship. And it is important to note that even though entrepreneurship area has been developed around the mid-2014 period, however, the entrepreneur orientation have just attracted attention from scholars in these recent years. So for the last slides, I will told you about the future research area. So, no bibliometric review can provide an accurate picture of the field of development and the current situations. So this study is not an exception. So the future research may consider expanding on this study finding by utilizing alternative database, such as the researcher can look more on Web of Science, or PubMed or Google Scholar, and include other publications other than articles such as book chapters, conference, proceeding, and literature. And future research should focus on a specific aspect of franchisee internal assets, franchise resources, and environmental external factors. So for franchisee internal assets, you can see on franchisee entrepreneurial orientations and market orientations, and the franchisee intellectual capital. For the franchise resources, you can look more on the franchisor support, how the franchisor support affect the franchisee performance, and how the franchisor control maintenance affect the franchisee performance. And for the environmental external factors, you can look more on the environmental dynamics. It's very interesting to see that how the environmental external factors affect the franchisee performance, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for listening.